We start. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Discover how Google Maps can help you in your business expansion.
I hope you guys can hear us. Yes, Soumya, continue.
Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few guidelines so you know how to participate in today's webinar. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's presenters by typing your questions into the chat panel along with your name and organization. Also, do mention the speaker who you want should address your question. You may send in your questions anytime during the webinar, and we'll try to address them during the interactive Q&A session or later through email. In today's webinar, we will help you understand how you can use Google Maps platform to strategize business expansion. Google will talk about the map technology they have and how mid to large size companies across the globe are getting benefited through this technology. Lepton has great capabilities to consume Google Maps API and provide excellent solutions to enterprises to grow their business. I would now like to introduce Ankush Wadhwa, Head of Business Development at Lepton, and Jolly Ahuja, who manages Google Maps business in India. I would request Jolly to take over from here.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jolly Ahuja. I lead the Maps business for India. In my next few minutes, I'll try to explain how can we harness the power of location. I'll take you through certain case studies, and then we can discuss your questions as well. Google motto has always been organizing the world's information. This information is something which is just not restricted to the online world. There are a lot of information which we need to harness in the real time scenarios as well. So when we started thinking about Google Maps around 11 years back, that was our first question. How do we analyze, how do we make the real time information available to our users and to the enterprises? The three most common use of Google Maps which we see around the globe is the first one, which you see is on Google Maps, which tells you about the location, distance, direction. The second one is around the Places API, or about the location, anything around you, which is I want to take a 1 minute here, which is a very important use case. Say for an example, you want to know which is the nearest, so you type a dish name, so you type a dish sushi, and what you get, it's not the Wikipedia page or a definition of sushi. You get the nearest restaurant or who provides the sushi for you. So that's the power of Places API, which we see. The next one is Google Earth. Google Earth enables you to visit the entire world, anywhere, to see the locations which you cannot see just by sitting at your location. It gives you a lot of power and give you a visual treat as well. 11 years back, most of us, probably maybe our parents or maybe someone who was driving at that time, someone senior from our family, they were using the paper maps. We used to take the paper. My father used to take the paper. He used to stick it on the car dashboard, and then we used to go for a journey. But now, with using the Google Maps, this entire paper map, we have moved it to a digital world where you can see the places, you can go to those places, you can navigate. And not just that, we are partnering with many other industries. We have partnered with the forest world or forest industry, and we're trying to bring all those information over the Google Maps. Next, I spoke about the sushi. I spoke about the Places API. Now, let me give you some example on something on the context which is very relevant to India. When demonetization happened in October last year, everyone we were lost that where should we go and get the money, where is the nearest ATM, which is the nearest vendor who accepts card or a Paytm or any other way of any other way of taking money other than the cash. So a company, the startups company, they reached out to Google. One of them was Cash No Cash. They reached out to us, and they really helped Indian citizen in locating the nearest ATMs. And that's where we see the power of Places API. I'm sitting right now in Google Office. I want to see which all ATMs near my location can provide me cash if they have the cash, and which all vendors can accept an online transaction or can accept Paytm or some other mode of transaction. So that's where people started realizing what's the benefit of near me and in that application, and that's where we saw that most of the companies, they are coming forward with the features like near me. My next slide talks about the maps, cloud, and machine learning. Maps. So when we started 11 years back, we started working on maps. So we had some hand coded rules where we used to, which helped in designing our maps. But soon we realized that this the hand coded rule will not work for a long time. Things are getting complicated. We have new data, new information coming every day, every hour. So, and to manage that information, we need a lot of infrastructure, and that's where we came into the we thought about Google Cloud. Google Cloud provides a massive infrastructure where you can run multiple queries. So we started doing it, and as a Google, we are a company of engineers, and what we realized that to run certain queries, we needed around 65,000 number of laptops or computers, which was a huge amount of infrastructure to run that's where we solved the problem of infrastructure. But later we realized that we also need to develop certain measure, certain parameter, so that we understand the pattern, where which is the nearest location, how it is the footfall of that location, which is the closing hours, the opening hours. So we need to understand those patterns so that we can provide the relevant information and insights to our enterprises. And that's where we came to know about the machine learning, and that's where we thought of combining maps, cloud, and machine learning, and then finally giving an end product which is location intelligence to our enterprises. Location intelligence is basically, we call it as a force multiplier. What does a force multiplier mean? Force multiplier means is something like that, you can use the power of location intelligence. As I mentioned earlier, it is maps, cloud, and machine learning, and bring it to your business. You name a business and you can use location intelligence out of it. Just to give you certain stats, 6 out of 10 searches are location based searches. 60% of any company's data is a geo data. You need to book a flight, you need to book a room for yourself, you need to go to a restaurant. For anything or everything, you could use location in business and make it more interactive, make it more dependable, and provide an excellent user experience to your consumers. So what do we see as use cases of location? The first one is display, the second one is go, the locate, and explore. I'll just give you a certain example of all of these 4 use cases. Display is something which we use day in and day out. Whenever we use Google Maps to display something, it could be in form you're opening a say OLX or Quicker or any company website, and you see a map to it. That's the display. It gives you the clarity, and you can even zoom in and zoom out. So for example, there is a company there in it's a France based company. What they do actually, they provide location information, a very locale information to their user. For an example, if you want to see an Eiffel Tower, you can actually and when you type in Eiffel Tower, it will give you all information about Eiffel Tower. It will give you nearest restaurants, rentals around the Eiffel Tower. So that's what they use, the power of what I said, the location, and display it on their website. Go is something, which we use day in and day out. Most of us. So today I came to the office using a cab. We book Uber and Ola. So right from the time you start booking your cab, which is getting an address, your geolocation, to the time you sign out, getting your fare estimate, everything is done using Google Maps API at the backend. The next one is Locate. Locate is a continuation to a navigation API about the continuation to the Go, but it does a step ahead. It is a method to locate your assets, to locate people, to locate vehicle. Especially in the case of this particular asset tracking license has brought a big change to the supply chain of a company, to the logistic. It makes a lot of information available real time. At real time, where your fleet is. At real time, where your truck is going and all that stuff. So you could get a lot of analytics using Google Maps API, of course, at the real time basis. The last one is Explore. Explore is, I give you an example of Google Earth. All of us wants to explore different areas, right? So one of the company, they were using Google Maps, Google Earth, and using Google Earth capability to show how it is, how our forests are behaving. I have a slide to it. I'll just take you through that slide and explore more again. The deforestation has been the biggest problem for us. So Google associated with Professor Hansen and the forest industry, and we tried to get the data, how you can see how the deforestation is happening, which is the area where there more trees are being cut, so that we can take some actions against it. So that's the 4 use cases which I see right now of Google Maps API. But having said that, there's one other stream of use case which we see, which is going enormously and at a big scale, which is IoT. So Google Maps have moved a step ahead from navigation and direction to something more useful, more interactive. So let's take an example of one of the IoT case which I want to highlight. It's smart TVs, right? So right, we all of us must be using smart TVs. So there was a company, they came up with a problem that whenever we have to install a smart TV, we have to send someone to do the configuration. So can we make it more automated? We said yes, of course. So what we did, we give them our APIs, and as soon as they know the location of the smart TV, since say I'm sitting in Gurgaon in India right now, they know my location. So as they know my location, they can send someone who is nearby to do the configuration, or they can do it automatically right from the from their warehouse. So that's what they did in that IoT space. Not just that, I am an Indian citizen. I want to see my Hindi soaps or Hindi serials. I don't want to see some stuff in English or some other language. So they provided me the content based upon my location, since they knew my location using the geocoding API. So that's the in all the power of Google Maps: display, go, locate, and explore. Few of the example is Swiggy, Ola, Oyo. So these are the few examples where you're already carrying in your pockets right now. And the one thing which I would like to highlight, none of these companies were in existence say 11 years back or few years back. And using the power of Maps API, we have seen they have grown tremendously in their respective areas. In interest of time, I'll skip this slide. This is just talk about the explore feature, which I said that using Google Maps, the forest data, and the power of Google Cloud, we were able to showcase over the maps that this pink area basically detects the deforestation area, where the trees are being cut. So that's the value add you can have if you have the data in place, if you have maps in place. So this is my last slide, which talks about machine learning. We have been using a lot of machine learning. We have been using a lot of prediction analysis. Now, when you go to Google Maps, actually Google Maps Consumer, you can see where, you can predict the time of travel. If you say tomorrow I want to travel from Sector 47, from a Google office to airport, how much time would I take? So we are predicting that time based upon, because we have a lot of data, historical data. So you could use that prediction in your business and prepare your business for future. So that's the power of machine learning, which we are incorporating in Google Maps. So finally, this brings me to my last slide, and I'm just reiterating the thing that Maps Cloud Machine Learning gives you a location intelligence, and all of this gives is a force multiplier. And force multipliers need something to multiply, right? It needs something to amplify the multiplication, and that something is you, your business, your ideas, which when you bring it to us, when you bring it to Google, we and add intelligence to it, it gives you a lot of visibility and definitely a very better user experience. So I'll end with this slide. Please feel free to reach out to us for any question, and I'll take all those questions after this, after the Ankush presentation. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. This is Ankush Vadva from Lepton Software. I had business development for Lepton. I'll be helping you understand more of the location intelligence from business expansion perspective. I understand there's lag of the audio as compared to what you see on your screen. So I'll try to go slow first, and you can highlight in the chat window if the gap is increasing. So from location intelligence perspective, most of the use cases are valid across multiple verticals, whether it is BFSI, FMCG, telecom, real estate, and so on. We at Lepton have got different business solutions. We primarily try to follow RAR model, which is reach, acquisition, and retention. The idea is to make sure that our solutions help you reach your customer, acquire them, and retain them, to make sure that we have end-to-end sales cycle being covered in our solution. Make sure your business is seamless. We have 3 different platforms. One is called Network Access. Then we have Market Pulse and Smart Data. Network Access is specifically for telecom vertical, and that too the engineering side of it, wherein we help telecom companies manage their inventory. They do feasibility study. They help their customers locate themselves in terms of their point of sales or their service centers, and we also have a solution which help them plan the network expansion in terms of the coverage and finding out the new cluster planning. Then we have another platform called Market Pulse. This is applicable across the verticals, including telecom, and specifically for sales, marketing, and business expansion, network expansion team. We have 4 different products here. The first one is called Smart Analytics, which is plain vanilla business intelligence tool or visual analytics tool, wherein you can plug in your internal data, your sales data, your competition data, your whole business network data on the maps, and then you can really find out what kind of locations are doing well and what is the reason of the performance. I mean, some of the businesses might be doing really, really well, and then at the moment you might not even realize why they're doing well. What is the importance of the location, which is making you realize more profit from those particular locations. Similarly, you could have certain locations which are not doing so well. So when we know the reasons why certain locations have been performing well and what are the parameters behind them, you can really focus on your business from that perspective and find out similar locations in different cities, for example, to make sure that your performance is optimized. Then we have Smart Locator as another product, which helps your audience, your customers to locate you. We can take an example of, say, ICICI Bank. When you log into icicibank.com, you click on Find ATM Branch tab. The window that pops up is a product called Smart Locator, wherein you can find nearest ATM or nearest branch around you. You can also filter. You create filter in terms of finding out a particular service which you're looking for. Let's say you want a locker option, and then you want to find out which bank has a locker option, which is nearest to you. Then we have another product called Smart Planner. This helps a lot of organization addressing a very simple question: where do I open my next shop? Where do I open my next dealer? How do I spend my marketing budget on specific audience? Where are those guys located? So here we plug in a lot of external data through our data practice. Market data, lifestyle data. It could be your own historic sales data, your competition data, and so on. I'll be showing you a couple of slides related to the same going forward. Then we have another product called Smart Track. Smart Track is a solution which helps you optimize your field force. You can track them. They can do a lot of on the field job using this solution. And at the same time, Smart Track can be used to do just the vehicle tracking. So depending on the kind of business you are into, the solution can be optimized and configured accordingly. This screen, which probably you will see right now, is a smart locator screen. Uh, this is from ICICI Bank, wherein on the left hand side you can see there are different filters to find out ATM or branch or particular service. And on right hand side you see a map view with a lot of attributes related to a specific branch. I'm moving to another screen now. This is Smart Track screen, wherein this solution helps you track your field force. So you see at the center of the screen, it says I am here. So it could be a vehicle or a field force, and then there could be attributes on that inside. So this is just an example of how visually the solution look like. Because we follow a platform approach, all of our products are easily configurable and customizable. Let's say in couple of weeks. So we go live really fast because we don't follow plug and play approach in terms of product. We configure our platform rather quickly to make sure that we go live for all these products in a couple of weeks itself. I'm moving to another screen. Big screen. When you see it on your screen, I'm not too sure if it's already on. You will see a map, and then there are 3 different localities in Delhi: Dwarka Sector 21, Dwarka Sector 10, and then Sector 9. Now you will see that if you really want to, plot a particular locality and see the importance of that location across multiple parameters, we have plugged in, let's say 4 parameters here: population, per capita income, age group, and household. Now, this helps a lot of organization across multiple verticals when you really want to understand the importance of a location vis-a-vis your actual performance right now. This helps you also understand how's your competition mapped up in those localities. So you can create a competition heat map and plot your own point of sale data as well as competition point of sale data, which basically means their physical presence in the same locality, and then understand what is the density of your presence versus your competition versus the total population density there. This is a very interesting screen where you can actually divide the whole city into multiple, wherein you have different color codes, and you can see we have shown low potential area, moderate potential, and high potential. And when you hover your mouse to a particular grid, all these parameters can be seen, whether how many POIs, which is point of interest, how many POIs are there, how many households are there, population, working population, household income, even the property rate in that particular grid, how many married couples are there, and so on. So this is just an example. Now, depending on your business, you can configure the kind of parameters you really want to focus on while understanding the importance of a grid. So when we move to a city, when we know that we have to expand in the city, it becomes very critical to find out which localities is important for us in terms of opening our retail outlet or a service center, let's say. Perspective of doing marketing in a specific area or locality on niche product screen, where you see this, we have the option of creating ranking. So on the left hand side, you see there are multiple parameters: household, population, working population, married couple, and so on, and then you can give them weightage. Now, there are a lot of organizations who would want to launch the product in tier 1 city or metro city, but at the same time, they want to launch, let's say, smaller version in tier 3 city. Now, the parameters you would want to really consider while expanding your business across multiple cities might be same, but the weightage you want to give them across these cities might vary. So this shows a very interesting use case where on the fly system can help you create a ranking and in terms of priority, and help you really decide where to go first. And you would already have the data handy with you in terms of going to that particular city or maybe locality, as I had shown you in the previous screen. Once you shortlist the city, then you can immediately move to the next step. My next slide shows you land use legend. So this screen is signifying that the density of the population across a city, and we divide the whole city into multiple zones. Let's say, let me take an example of Bangalore. Now we might have, say, Bangalore has 100 square kilometer area with 1 million population. But all these people might not be living, might not be spread equally across 100 square kilometer. So we need to divide the city and understand where people would actually be living, and how is city generally divided. So we have airport zone, we have dense urban area, we have industrial zones there, we have rural zone, suburban, and so on. So you would actually realize that out of 100 square kilometer, maybe people are living only in 25 square kilometer, and rest of the areas are inhabitant. So that really helps a lot of organization plan business expansion, and that's a different perspective and very important perspective when you are doing business expansion planning, both in terms of finding out your location of target audience and to find out where you should be opening your retail outlets. Uh, I'm on a different screen now, which shows you how using Google Maps you can do gap analysis. Now, the screen helps you understand. If you see the red stars, small dots, this shows point of sales, the actual point of sales which we have plotted on map. And on left hand side, you can see a big circle where these point of sales, the density of point of sale is very less. Now, what we really have to see from the screen is the blue color signifies the population, where the population is living. On the left hand side, that's the amoeba shape, and the point of sale are very less. So in a lot of organizations, there a lot of businesses, there is a term called dealer per lakh or point of sale per million. So you can really plot your point of sales and then plot the population data, and really find out whether you're actually present. Your presence is significant in those areas vis-a-vis the actual population that exists there. So that really helps you find out the kind of gap in your business presence in those areas where population exists but you are not physically present. Now, next screen shows our another platform called Smart Data. Now, these are various data sets what we have. So when we are creating a solution which is visual in nature, and we use Google Map as a base layer, you need to have a lot of data layers on top of it. So Google acts like an image for us, but we really need to create different data layers to visualize them separately and do analytics. So it could be boundary layers, it could be admin boundary, or locality boundaries, pin code boundaries, and so on. Or it could be demography specific information, in terms of male female ratio, or what kind of population is living there, what kind of per capita income is there in certain areas, and so on. So and these different data sets are at different level. They could be city level, it could be locality level, pin code level. So now, depending again on the business we're talking about, people consume this data in different fashions. We also have data from third party. We have partners from who give us kind of data which is more real in nature. It could be automobile data, which talks about what kind of vehicles are registered in what areas. So it's RTO specific data. Then we have infrastructure data. What kind of infrastructure development is happening in various areas? There could be different categories. It could be a township coming up. It could be a flyover. It could be a refinery and so on. So there could be different categories under infrastructure as a category. And then telecom, we have telecom data coming from our partner, wherein we can really define what is the movement pattern of people, let's say, who have got more than 5,000 rupee phone bill. Where do people live, where who carry phone worth 40,000 rupees or more. So there's a lot of data which can be derived directly or indirectly from our data partners, and we plug in all these data sets into our solution, and which help you analyze and manage your existing business, restructure your business, and then eventually help you plan business expansion. I'm moving to another slide where from now on I'll be sharing certain use cases. The first use case is of one of the largest telecom service provider. They have got more than 200 million subscriber base across India. Now they really wanted to have a unified location intelligence platform where they could see data and multiple parameters of the data from different circles on a single unified system. And then they used network accessor platform, which, and in the whole process they were able to really have a unified view of the overall coverage statistics. They could understand the performance of different regions, more from the engineering side of it. And then that also helped them optimize their speed, optimize their delivery of the data, and so on. Another screen is specific to one of our customers who are it's FMCG customer, ice cream division of it. It had a very interesting use case. They really wanted to expand their business to specific to those stores where their other products, non-ice cream based products, were being sold by those general stores or supermarkets, but they were not selling ice creams. So they bought two different products from us. One was Smart Track, and other was Smart Planner, wherein they used to plan their field force route across different regions. And these guys used to go to these retail stores and make them understand the whole concept of selling ice creams, sign in the contract, click that contract using phone camera and scan it, and then it used to go to the server at the back end for the enablement team to really work on it. And then when they onboarded all these guys, at the same time their sales data was being captured by the SAP system. And through our another solution, they could really visualize what area is doing well, what are the parameters because of which they are doing well, and they capture multiple parameters in terms of their competition around certain important POIs, if there was a school around, college around, or is a metro station, and so on. That really helped them understand the importance of that location across these multiple cities. And taking this data, they planned business expansion across in another phase, which really helped them optimize their business expansion in terms of making sure that their hit rate is more than 90% across all these stores. I have moved to another slide, which is again FMCG specific to a dairy company. They are into selling milk products. They also wanted to really expand in South India, in primarily I think Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai. And they were already selling milk products, and they had very specific requirement because there was a time constraint of delivering milk in couple of hours in the morning, and they had to expand business also. So there was a challenge of finding out how far is a warehouse from the market, and how many shops are already being covered, how many can be increased. So we gave them multiple products to capture their existing point of sale network first, and deploy, put it on the map. Then understand what is the importance of the location where they're already present, and then we tried helping them move to other locations without making them spend on their warehouse in phase one. And then in phase two, then they really wanted to go beyond those cities where same central warehouses could be used. So this is also a very interesting use case where time was a constraint in terms of delivery. I have moved to another slide, which is which is a smart locator as a product for ICICI Bank. I had shown this screen earlier as well. So this basically talks about locating ATM or branch, or it could be any service center, it could be any dealer network. I want to see, let's say, Tata Motors dealer around me, so I can go to a similar platform and see that. So a lot of organizations, and this is a use case which is quite prominent for most of our customers, where they just want to show their presence. So people always go to Google and find out through google.com, but then when they come to your website, you can add on a lot of information on those particular point of interest. Like in case of banks, you can really add what kind of products you are selling, what are the working hours, what is the branch manager's name, let's say. You can fix an appointment over the map itself when people come to your website, and you can show a lot of information, product specific information and offers using the same interface when you create such locator on your website directly. Now I have moved to another slide which is specific to logistics and transportation. This is one of the largest courier company in India. And they had different use cases. They really wanted to track their field force. They really wanted to optimize their delivery across multiple cities. They had different challenge in tier 1 city and different in tier 2 cities. So when they had this visualization tool, they could plan the delivery optimally. They could and there were a lot of returns which were happening because the delivery was not happening on time, or they were going to wrong address. So that this solution really helped them track the field force, optimize the delivery, plan the routes effectively so that they could save time and do delivery as already originally scheduled. And so it really helped them improve efficiency, both in terms of transportation as well as delivering those products. I have moved to another slide which is specific to oil and gas use case. Now, this is one of the largest oil and gas company in India. The use case here was to track the location of oil containers while they're on move. And also, in a way, it was their field force which was carrying the petroleum products in real time. So this was very important for them because there was a lot of, there was a lot of delay in delivering before they implemented this product because of the nature of the business itself. Lot of truck drivers either used to deroute or they used to take time in reaching the destination. And when these guys started doing the live tracking, then they could really figure out which truck is where. And then if it is not moving, they could straight away call the driver and ask them to really to stick to the timeline and so on. So that reduced their overall labor cost in terms of delivery cost, you can say, and then increase the field force efficiency. I have moved to another slide which is specific to cement industry. This was a very important use case. One of the leading cement manufacturer, which had bit of an issue in terms of supply chain. They are primarily present in South and the East. And when they use Google Map based solution, it really helped them improve the consignment clearance time by 40% effectively. And it really helped them also increase the productivity and profitability because supply chain was optimized using the solution. These were a couple of use cases. I would just quickly brief about Lepton now. We are premium Google Map partner in India, Southeast Asia, and Middle East. And we are Google Map partner, and we work in the cloud domain as well. We have a dual relationship with Google. So we sell Google Map based solution. We sell Google Map licenses standalone. We work in the cloud space. But at the same time, we sell a lot of data to Google, which you see on maps.google.com. So it could be point of interest data, it could be boundary data, and so on. So it's a very strong relationship, and we are the first active partner of Google till now, working with them across multiple geographies. We consider ourselves as leader in location intelligence and location analytics solution. We are a boutique company with around 150 people, both in the engineering side as well as GIS side. We started our journey around 20 years back, where we used to work for telecom vertical standalone for 8 to 10 years, which helped us really create robust platforms because of the nature of the industry itself. Telecom being customer hungry, where they always wanted to reach last mile. We also they also helped us in the process of researching the data and finding out more data for telecom vertical. We came up with a strong data practice ourselves, because and all these data sets are being consumed in our solution or being sold standalone to all the business verticals I spoke about a while back. We have a head office in Gurgaon and sales office in Singapore and Dubai. Through Singapore, we manage Southeast Asia, and through Dubai, we manage Middle East, Africa, and Europe a bit. That's about it. If you have any further questions, we received a lot of questions even before the webinar. We'll try to address them right now between me and Jolly. And in case you have questions after the webinar as well, you're free to send an email to us. We'll draft a Q&A document and send it across to everybody. Thank you. So I am moving to Q&A now. So there's a question which has been asked by multiple people. Can I put Google Maps on my site without using Google Maps API? So maybe I think Jolly can address this question. What I really understand is maybe you're talking about Google Maps static image and not the complete API. Maybe Jolly, would you want to take it?
Yeah, if that is the question, that can you just put the static maps on your website without using Maps API? So static Maps is also an API actually. So anything which you do over a Maps, it's an API. So you effectively you would be using an API at the backend, but you can definitely use static maps without using other set of APIs. If that answers your question.
Great. I think we have another question which says, what are the usage limits for the Google Maps API? Now, there are different types of Google Maps API. There are three different use cases. One could be public facing, wherein you have public facing application like Locator, which I had mentioned a while back. Then there could be internal use cases. There could be a lot of internal application which you might use for analytics, for beat planning of your field force, for business expansion, and so on. And then there could be a third use case where you are tracking your field force or tracking your vehicles. So the usage limits for Google Maps vary from use case to use case. This has to be discussed in detail, and then you can be in touch with us and we can help you understand how usage limits apply depending on the use case you have right now. Other question is, how can Smart Market help me set up a new store? So as I gave example a while back, we have a smart planner as a product, which can be used to really find out what kind of cities could be relevant for your business, depending on the kind of business you have. Within a city, what localities or what areas are more relevant for you to open a new store. We are at the moment talking to a lot of organizations who are planning to open new stores, which are, they're not present in India. There are a lot of organizations, they are present in certain cities, but they want to expand to more cities and even the same city. And then there are new startups who really want to focus on very few cities, but they really want to expand that aggressively. So there are different use cases depending on the kind of business you are into. And Smart Market can help you do the same, because we plug in a lot of external demography data to really help you understand the importance of a location specific to your business. Next question is, can I monitor competition Google Maps via use of any solution? So I think Jolly can address this, because this is more of a data we're talking about specific to Google Maps.
Yeah. So as in Google, we don't provide any data as such, but what you could do is basically if you have the data, or you can purchase that data from our partners from the Lepton, and then you can overlay that data on the maps and prepare a heat map that where is your competition, what are the demographics, and probably find an area where there's a presence of your competition as well as a footfall, but there is, and probably that's the right place to open a new store. So that's what you could do. You can visualize it over maps.
Great. Yeah, that sounds good. Next question is, what all data products do you offer and which regions? So I'll take this. So as Jolly mentioned, so Google doesn't sell any data. We have Google Maps API, and then we consume those APIs from data perspective. But as Lepton, we create a lot of data layers on top of Google Maps to help you analyze your business, or help you really do business expansion planning. And as I had shown in one of our slide, we have a lot of data products which could be boundary specific, which could be demography specific, or through our partners. It could be telecom specific, or automobile data. So again, depending on what business we are talking about, and what is relevant in terms of use case, we have a lot of data layers to really put on Google Maps. We can share our presentation to all of you, and then you can have a look at the data products we have. Next question is, what is the average cost of?
I am from the logistic industry. This one is mixed with it, right?
Yeah, I am from the logistic industry. Can I have a non-traffic route created for my employee? Yeah,
so,
Jolly, you want to take it?
right. So it's if correct me if I'm wrong. By non-traffic, you means the most optimized route for your employees, for your fleet on the ground. Yes, you can do that using Google Maps API. You can design an advanced routing algorithm, which tells you about the location which of your employee should cover in a day's time. For an example, there's a huge pizza delivery company in India. They have to deliver pizza in a turnaround time of say 30 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes. So they design the path of their employee in a such a way so that the pizza remains hot, and they cover as many home, or as many users they can. So that's what you could do using Google Maps API, and on top of it you can overlay a traffic layer.
Yeah, perfect. That sounds good. I think I'll cover one more question. We're already out of time now. We'll try to address other questions through Q&A document. Do you have on-premise geocoding solution which can convert bulk addresses in organization and put them on map? Yeah, this is a very interesting question. So a lot of people have asked this question in terms of plotting their customer base or plotting their retail outlets on the map in bulk manner to start with, and then it would be an ongoing exercise. A lot of banking companies, a lot of even telecom companies look for the solution. The answer is yes. We can definitely have a solution. It could be a cloud all as well as on-premise solution, wherein you can have bulk loading of addresses and geocoding them. We have to follow certain geocoding norms, and the quality of geocoding also depends on the address quality which is being fed into the system. So we can take this separately once we look into the quality of the address. But yes, answer to this question is yes. This can be done for sure. I think for today we are done. We will share a Q&A document with you, and then going forward, I will. You can send email to my email ID or Soumya, who had invited you. My email ID is ankush.vadhva@leptonsoftware.com.
So I'll just end up with a note. I think we have a couple of more questions, which seems to be an important question, especially with respect to the Places API. All the document, anything and everything is on the internet. You just need to Google it. What I would suggest, Ankush, that after this session, probably we can also share some public links along with this email, where you can find the details on licensing, on Places API. You can go through those docs and come back to us with any queries. So Ankush probably will share those links.
Yeah. I think there is one more question. What is the accuracy of Google Map data administrative boundary? So Jolly, you want to take this?
Yeah. So I mean, the accuracy depends upon the device, and so for example, the way we collect data is different. So the data we collect is through the GPS, then we do a cell tower triangulation, which is using the Wi-Fi, and then the third one is we get it from the partners as well. So what we could do, that accuracy changes, but that is from the Google Maps API. But about the administrative boundary, I think Ankush will cover that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So administrative. Usually, what happens is it's a when you look at Google Maps, so it's a satellite image in a way, and Google keeps refreshing it. Till now, we haven't faced any issue in terms of customers coming back to us and asking for change in administrative boundary. Definitely, when new locality comes up or new state gets formed, which locality specifically happens quite frequently, not state, then we really get into the upgradation mode of the data itself. So most of our customers go with maintenance, go ahead with maintenance contract for the data, and we keep them updating with the administrative boundaries update all the time. One quick question again: do you have a standalone application or web application, or both? So both. So we can have most of our, rather all of our solution are web based. Few of our customers are comfortable going with the on-premise option. In certain cases, we have hosted for our customer where they have issue of managing the infrastructure itself and spending on the servers, hardware, database, and so on. So we manage the complete hosting for them. So it totally depends on how comfortable you are hosting the application on cloud. But from application perspective, from platform perspective, we are open to both on-premise as well as remote hosting. All of our product are web-based by default. I think I'll just take this last one. Where can I find details of Places API license requirements / restrictions? You can send a mail to us, which is mentioned on your screen right now. We will share the details, although you can quickly Google, but then Places API and other license requirements are not mentioned in public domain. Again, as I mentioned, depending on the use case, the license requirements are different. We'll share the complete document and we can get on a call and explain these in details. But primarily, they are credit based. Let's say Places API would consume credits for which you really pay. Let's say you buy a base unit of 100,000, 500,000 credits. So for every query of Places API, you consume between 2 to 2.5 credits. So we can discuss in detail as to how these credits get consumed and how you can really optimize the consumption of these credits using Places API, and then the pricing for the same. I think we are done with most of the questions. We are still left with few, but I will add them in Q&A document and share it across. I would like to thank all of you to spare your time and for the webinar today. We'll try to have more frequent webinars on different topics, and we'll keep you updated and informed for the same. Thanks, Jolly.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. Thank you.